All right, this will be the lab tracker that you want to be making sure that you're on. It's lab 13. There is a misprint in some of the skills books, and on this page it says estimation is lab 12. Well, if you have that in your skills book, go ahead and mark through that, because that will keep you on track with what we're doing. So if you look at our next activity, it's from prints number 5. I know that says Canvas, but I'm going to give you the physical copy of those prints that you can see. I might have a backup on Canvas as well too, but it's kind of easier to work with the actual larger print sometimes. So we're going to work today on determining the cost for a slab foundation. So this is activity 2 in your skills book, and we're going to be using the print 5 for this. So that's where you can see that this is print 5 that we'll be using, and this is the slab foundation. So when we begin to look at the slab foundation, we want to try to simplify things. We're going to break this down into 3 areas, and I'm going to use a dry erase marker here, just kind of as a hopefully something to help you out visually with what we're going to do first. So we're going to look at this area, then this next area here, and then finally this one here. All right, so each one of these areas that I've highlighted, they have measurements of a length and a width. So on this one, we notice that the length is 30 foot and 6 inches. So just to make things easy for you, and not just easy, but we're one to estimate. This is an estimate. We don't want to be short. If you call in concrete trucks, you don't want to be short on concrete. You don't want to be over, but you don't want to be short for sure. So you do have to allow for some excess. So we're going to kind of allow for some excess as we work on the plan today. Okay, so this is 30 by 6. We'd go ahead and figure that one as 31 feet. So that would kind of give you some excess there. Then up over here, this is 12 foot 3 inches. We could round that up to maybe 12 foot 6 inches, or we know that 6 inches is half a foot, so 12.5. So to find the area, we're going to multiply these lengths and widths here to find the area of this shape here. Same way down here, we're going to estimate when we need to. It looks like it's 15.9. You probably want to just call that 16. And then over from this side, to find the height of this, or at the length of this right here, we could add from here to there is 18 plus 4 more feet. So 18 feet plus 4 feet times that. So you've worked this one, and at any time you need to pause this to give yourself some time, you can do that. But you can write these numbers down to the side of your skills book here to keep up with as you go along. And then you got the last measurement here. Again, you got the same measurement here of 30 foot 6 inches, and then we call that about 12.5, right? So you're going to just find the area. And when you're finding the area of these 3 different spaces, then you're going to add those 3 together. That's going to give you the total area of your foundation. But we got to go a little further than that, because if you look at area, if you multiply, let's say 5 times 2, that's going to give you 10. So that's an area. But that's assuming that it's all, the depth is also 1 foot. So we're looking at the depth, the thickness of this slab. In this section here, we see the slab is 4 inches. Well, if we want to have a proper estimation, we need to kind of convert this 4 inches. So 4 inches is basically a third of a ruler. So what you want to do, instead of, when you multiply this and you got your answer, if you multiplied, for example, the one I gave you, 5 times 2 is 10. Well, if it's only going to be 4 inches thick, I need to multiply that 10 times 0.33. And when you multiply it by 0.33, it's going to give you a smaller number. So even though our area, we've calculated that, when we determine the depth of it, it's going to be less because we're going to multiply it by 0.33. So actually 0.33. And that's going to give you a smaller number. Once you multiply that, that's going to give you the answer for number 3 there. We just determined the depth of the slab. It's 4 inches, and you converted that to the decimal. So then the next thing that we still haven't accounted for is the footings. So the concrete footings. We've talked about this when we did blueprint reading. So these are the footings here in this section. And the footings are the deeper part that goes all the way around these areas, okay? So to account for that cement, that's a little deeper than the 4 inches that you can see, we're going to multiply the answer from number 3. We're going to multiply that answer by 0.10 or 10%. So you could take that answer when you multiply it by 0.10 and write it over here. Then you're going to add this, or you would actually write that amount here, and then you're going to add this amount to the volume of your footing, okay? Then as we come on down to here, it says multiply your final concrete cubic feet volume by the labor and material formula found on the cost sheet. So on your cost sheet at your lab here, there's the concrete slab. It's $500, that's the cost of this, for every 27 cubic feet. Well, you probably have a different number than 27. What you're going to do is you're going to divide your number, this last number that you came up with, divide that number by 27 to convert it to cubic yards. So then that number will help you determine what the cost is going to be, because you'll take that number and you're going to multiply it by the 500 that's on your material cost sheet. All right, so that should get us through on completing the slab foundation. I think that you had enough time possibly to get the vocabulary done on day 1, and today hopefully you've worked ahead to stay ahead of the activities. So the next one that we're going to be looking at, we will use prints 2 and 10, and there's also the questions in the skills book.